All right, it's the 58th IWAR Gold Strategy Workshop. And this isn't the merch show, but I thought I'd show this off. This is the I ordered some pictures from friends of mine for like my friend's 50th birthday. They came with a free canvas thing. And I was like, oh, all right. So I just threw this up there. So we got that working for us in the background. Terrible, sad. Oh, all right.
I think I got the
So,
right one sharing, don't I? Is
yes.
that it? Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't tell from the preview screen's like that big, so I can't see it.
Yeah. So what are we looking at? This is going into our May 2nd spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, spring cycle. How ugly is it going to get?
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good, so I'm going to keep doing what I have been doing.
I'd say so. Those were 6 501s.
Yep, I have the last 7 feds. So, all right.
Yikes! Wow, look at this. This mockery.
Yeah. So we are basically starting out with like 48 options, and that's great. And to tell you how we're getting there, we know that we start out there's 16 backs, but we get hold 90 currently as the 44-1.
Yep.
And that takes half the backs away.
Yes, I like that.
And we also know we're on one of those streaks where the same hold is hitting on 44, and that's been 42. So we're not going to go against that. It's been working out for a while now that you don't switch that mid, cycle. So one of the 42s will go right here.
But which 42?
Yeah. Probably both.
Yeah. They'll never catch on.
Both. And then we got to pick between 43s. And this is a tougher spot this cycle because 90 wasn't one of the 45s, so they could kind of go either way.
Right.
If you look, it's what do we got? A couple times that it's went. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's really, look at this. It's you could have 2 in a row or you could not. You're gonna have a coin flip, so if you get that 501, might hit, might not. That's a tough one to guess on. It's literally, it could be either. So
right,
just pick one way to put those. I'll probably, I don't know. I actually don't know which one I'll do. That's
it's one of those things where some players will say like, well, what do you go with? Like, you feel you go with your gut, or like some guys play the averages. I'm like, just I find that playing the 1 or 2, if you're looking for that, works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's about a 50-50 over the last, so the last 15 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 7 and 8 on the last 15. So, right. But no,
more than one guy.
Yeah.
And you hit the right 42.
Yeah, this is one of those times where, like, if you do like using the same strat a couple times, I know people do that. Flip these around on one, maybe switch what's at 10. But yeah, if you're going to use the same strat, put in a little work just to at least make them slightly different in case you hit, you can have that slightly better chance maybe. Right. But no, that's refreshing that the back without any real effort is down to 4. So
do you think that
we'll come back to this and go ahead.
43, because 43-2 is hit 2 cycles in a row, that 43-1 is going to be more favorable, or do you think it's less favorable?
I'm not sure.
I know 73 is kind of
this. It's kind of, if you go along with the concept of over time things are going to balance back out. I feel like we're still paying for this.
Yeah.
where we did the 9 in a row.
Right.
I'm not too confident in either one. If you actually look, it's what, 73 and 67.
Right. So 73, oh, strong. It's back in the game. Or 67, which has been pretty terrible.
Yeah. I mean, looks like when 73 does hit, it's done okay pretty much every time
Yeah.
for, a decent stretch. 67 doesn't look that great. So,
Mm.
first glance, I do like 73 over 67, but I'll probably try to keep all four backs, I think, at the end of this. We'll see. I don't like again. I feel more confident when I can take one drop here or just one actual combination and leave all these. So we'll see.
So now we're looking at our
Yeah.
front
So
options.
Baxter, we're down to 4.
Right.
Um,
That's
and
pretty
so
good.
yeah, with we're gonna get rid of the 2 cycle ago, which was 29-28.
Right.
Iron did not help us at all because it was last cycle's gold drop of 28-27.
Yep.
Still, it was on the do not use list that I made, so it really didn't help us. I
Right.
wouldn't recommend to use 27s, but definitely don't use them now. And same
Yeah.
thing, I don't expect to see 26s anytime soon.
Do you ever, well, here's a quick side note. Do you ever for your multi, like I know you don't do multis right now, we're not a big fan of multis
Mhm.
at the moment. But when you did do them, would you sit there and say, well, I don't think 26 is gonna probably drop, but I'm gonna use it for my combo because it's likelihood that the points will work out blowing?
Sometimes, yeah. And then, I would also do the opposite where I didn't like to go all in. So if I used a multi or like a 27-27 drop on my singles, I would probably put it in a tag still, at least one, just in
Okay.
case I'm wrong. So if you're wrong on one, those guys can still get something for you.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I try not to associate what's going to happen in multis with my singles. Like it's I know that makes no sense really because if you're confident over here, but
Yeah.
with multis, I like to just move a few things around, and most of it's the same. But those few things I like to cover a little more with them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like multis. I enjoy them, but I just kind of want to win more singles. So
Yeah.
that's the goal right now. That's why I'm not doing them.
So how bad is it? Tell us the truth, doctor.
Pretty pretty good because out of what's left here, we get to take these 4 out because they would have a 25, uh,
Hmm.
hold 25 in them. This one goes out because it was the exact combination from 2 cycles ago.
Right.
So that gets us down to 12 fronts. So 4 backs, 12 fronts. We're already down to 48. Um, the 6 highlighted in green have one of the 2 cycles ago's 25s.
Right.
And
How are we doing on that front?
we've had 2 in a row, and this was after the little cluster where we had 3, which we
Hmm.
knew. um, I'm inclined to expect at least like 2 or 3 more, so I'm probably going to lean into using this.
Hmm.
You never know. It's not an exact pattern, but it
Is
seems
that
like after you hit the little rough patch you usually get, I mean, we had 4, we had 6, and we had 9. So um, it's one of those things kind of like on the back where, right now I see 42 at the start. I'm going to use it until it misses,
hmm.
except the one miss to get 5 right. If we keep using this logic, we should get several right and just accept when you miss.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. The one problem, though, I think we were talking a little earlier. 29, 27. It's got to hit sometime soon.
How long has it been now?
It last happened in the winter cycle in Diamond. And so, I mean,
That's
this Diamond would be 4 cycles from when it happened. It's not uncommon. Like you see last year, 29, 28 had the 4 in a row. So
mhm.
every once in a while it could happen, but it's very, very rare. Like once a year, you'll have one of the actual, non-double drops do this.
Right.
Maybe twice a year if you look, but yeah, it's once or twice.
What's
I
more
think just once
suspicious,
last year.
29, 27, or 28s? What's 28? 24 now? 23?
22.
22.
Yeah, it's gonna happen sometime in the near future. Um, if I don't know, I'm not gonna use it. Uh, I just used 27s and still, and it worked out. But uh, I don't know. I just we're gonna have one in probably the next. I mean, it's gonna be this year, obviously. So what do we got? 10 cycles left, 9. So it's got to be one of the next 9.
Oh, how many
When was
cycles
the
in
last
this
time we
year?
had a? Yeah, it's also it's been 4 cycles since we've had a 28-28 drop. So yeah, but that's not uncommon. Like you look here, we had 5, we had 4. When most, it's going to be 1 or 2, so you're probably getting like 8 total a year. So
Right.
those, unless it's spaced out every other cycle hitting, that one's going to get clusters like that. So 28-28 is coming up. Nothing really to say about it being this cycle, but use it if you want. You're going to be right sometime in the near future. But again, if you look at the 6 drops that I've highlighted in green, you'd be half right on 2, maybe 3 if it happened. But
Right.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like last time it got up to 30 something, didn't it?
Well, we were looking too at like when's the last time that particular hold has dropped,
34.
right?
Mhm.
So like 46 or 31, like when's the last time they actually dropped? Like individually. Because that's what I do a lot. What I do sometimes is I sit there and say, okay, like I track because I'm a nerd where the cycle went to. So if like 26s went to 30 and 25, or let's say 30 and 28, I will rule out 30 for a
Mhm.
26. I'll say it's going to go to 29 or 27, and that's where I'll load them in, like when I'm doing my numbers out. Or I'll try to like say, okay, if I want 29 or 26, I'm going to put that in like 10 spot and see if it
Mhm.
works. Just that's one of the nerdy things I do that probably don't help at all. This guy's terrible. I got a 483. Which, by the way, we should have checked out our ad in the IWAR magazine with some new quotes from players. I like Jeremy's. So we're looking 29, 46, 31, or 1 and 46. So if that's the heavy one,
Mhm.
is 1 going to go back to the obscurity again? Because we were feeling pretty good about 1 last time.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
were
we
thinking
were.
like, oh, 1's going to kind of bounce back for a while. Let me actually move this.
Yeah, and it still could. Um, I mean, it's done well. And the one thing to point out, because we talked about it last time, we really didn't know what was going to happen with 22 after its huge streak when it finally ended.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's it's going to kind of be one that bounces now.
Right.
Um, we're okay with that.
So 5 or 4. So 5 would be a 3-peat. 45 to be of one.
Yeah, and the three-peats, they happen not quite as regular as just the two you see is pretty common, but here's a three, here's a one right here, one right here, here, there's a four.
Yeah, not uncommon.
Here,
And I think
yeah, here, there's another one. So
12 was bad
it's
for a while too.
yeah, I don't think we can, because that's something I looked at earlier, but I don't think you can discredit that it won't go three in a row from anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, both 5 and 45, they both look like reasonable drops to consider, and that's why I think I'm just going to stick with going with it. Like I said, I hate that 29-27. It's it happened here. Is that the start of the year or end of last year one? But it's not happened in a while. So if you're going to go outside of the 25s from 2 cycles ago, that's probably where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably, like I said, I'll stay away from that. Yeah, your double drop is highlighted in green, so it's there if you want it. Again, probably wouldn't want to use that.
Well, it's tactic wise, strategy wise, in the NAL last cycle, I just had a feeling of what the drop was going to be. What I did though is I spread between the three things: the singles, the tag, and the six.
Mhm.
I tried to make it so that like one of them would have one of the potential drops in their combo. If like there was one, I think I gave Lucha the actual right drop, or maybe I gave it to the tag team. I forget which one, but I gave one of the other teams like one of the ones that dropped and then another hole, and the other team I
Mhm.
gave like one of the ones that dropped and another hole. So I was thinking about that, like as far as like you look here and go, okay, well, 5, you've got 2 options with 5 in it, and 1, 2, 3, 4 with 45.
Mhm.
I'm thinking to myself, like I said, I have 4 title shots in the BRL. What can I do to
Yeah.
maximize my chance to say, okay, if I can't retain it, what can I do with the other 3 like to cover my bases so that one of them, because a lot of conversations I have with like newer players, I always try to talk out of like using the same exact strat for everybody. Like, don't use the same strat for all your wrestlers, because if you have a bad cycle, you're gonna have a bad cycle for everybody. Spread it out, try some different things. So I try to apply that same kind of logic to my own guys and go, okay, well, if 29-27's not the one, do I feel at 28-26? And that was 3 cycles ago. So I'm actually leaning
Mhm.
less towards 28-26 because it was 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's that is a little recent. So yeah, I prefer 3's kind of the spot where it could happen. It's I think it's something like an 8 to 10% of the time
mm-hmm.
3 happens. So it's a reasonable one, but it's not one of the bigger ones. I think it's like 4, 5, 6, 7 area. Those have the highest numbers of when it's going to happen. Yeah, there's the 5, 6, 7 in here, so that doesn't help us a whole lot. But 3 can happen. But yeah, you're right. With that recency, not the most confident in it, so I'd probably put that at 3. Um, it's weird that we only have one 29-26. So if you do go with 29-26, you can use all 4 backs on that one.
That's the way to hit a 501 though, if it goes.
But yeah, honestly, I think out of these 27-26, I'll probably use these 2 and all 4 backs. I can't do that now. I only got 6 wrestlers now. I forgot I don't have my extra
Are your
3.
BRL guys all out now?
Yeah. Well, I'll have to maybe work on the back a little more, but yeah, I'll probably do something like that. But yeah, it's really that easy this cycle. If you want to go this way, you have 6 options here, 4 backs. That's 24 options to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick if you want to narrow this down or stick with one of these and just use the two combos of one, or the one here, one here, or go to the opposite. Really
Well,
like that 29-27 to finally hit, and you'll have the two options there with four backs. So
this is why
yeah,
I
you
think
can cover a lot of what you like. So
the guys who run one wrestler, I'm like, you run one wrestler in all the IWA. You have one strat, and some of those guys do really well. So we'll see. Yeesh.
no, not a lot of options this cycle. It's set up with the way 25 is, the way 90 is, and the way the back's been going.
Right.
It's just what we have. So you can kind of nitpick the few options here, and you're gonna like something out of it. So the last cycle, you see we got the 3 blanks and a diamond and a steel. Again, the ones that didn't hit last cycle are still much more popular than any other one, so that may persuade you to kind of stick up here. Still really doesn't get that many, and diamond doesn't get that many. We know gold is a higher percentage of iron still, but
yes.
So you could use it and be right
Code.
most of the time, but yeah, in gold, it's the one that hadn't hit that hits more often.
Absolutely. I think this is a pretty short show today, but we got a few options, so we will be hawking our wares. Oh, and I always want to let people know, if you have questions for us, please feel free to comment below, send us a message, because we're happy to tackle. We talked about the 42, 41 1, 41 2s, flowing, things like that. We do have a show just dedicated to multi-man strategies if you're trying to get into tag team or 6-man winning titles. And I always encourage people, especially NWL players, because if you can kind of figure out the tag team and multi-man flows, you're going to have a really good shot at winning the titles in NWL, because a lot of players don't focus on that. And one thing that's fun to do too is to get together with other players and say, hey, why don't we each pick a player of ours and kind of work together? But we'll see. What's your thoughts here?
Been 2 splits so far.
In a
Very
row?
rare that both iron and still had one. Trying to look if there's been an instance that it's been all 3 before. Oh, yeah, we got to go back. 41 cycles ago, the first 3 feds had one, so you could probably get by without doing one in gold and be wishful.
It's about 3 years ago. Yeesh.
Yeah, it would have been about 3 years ago.
Well, do you expect another 501?
I sure hope so.
I wouldn't mind hitting a 501 for the 9th time.
Yeah, still, even though IWL, I've won 2 TV titles and US title, but fortunately that's good enough for 2nd place right now. I've got a lot of work to do if I want to get up to 1st and get another wrestler of the year.
Right. It's funny too, because you can have a really strong cycle and scrap up a bunch of different belts. But like last year, Texas Jesse Tombstone just kind of came out of nowhere to yank that out. But we'll see. Trying to think what else we got going on. The merch show is out there if you want to check out some of our IWAR merch shows and see some of the cool stuff people have collected. We're working on more episodes of that. Last time we saw Mike's collection of all kinds of stuff, actually. It wasn't just one thing. But we're working on more merch shows. And we actually, if you have requests for a merch show or questions here, fire away. And people ask about the Tubecast. It'll be returning here and there. Alex is just busy with work, so it's kind of on his schedule. When he's available, we'll do it. But working on it. Yeah. I think we're done today, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. It's good to have a
Easy
shorter
one.
show sometimes.
Yeah.
Banging out. And like I said, there's fewer options, so it's gonna be kind of a matter of who pairs what with what, right? And hopefully it's me. So a reminder too, if you're entering the King of the Ring tournament, that begins this cycle. So keep that in mind. And then the May cycle, which I think the 29th to 28th, that's when like all the summer events start up. So stay tuned. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think one of my kids is up.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll let you go, man. But thank you again.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in about 3 weeks.
All right.
Thanks.
See ya.